You ready to go?
Yeah, where's Kenny?
Dude, I don't know. I was looking for him.
What you mean, bro? I'm ready.
She know what she need, all I need, all she blessed, ayy, giving my best, ayy, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back, what's with that, ayy, 21.
Yo, let's hurry the hell up, we gotta film.
That's my stack, ayy, Metro made the beats.
Welcome, guys, to our second episode of the Timeless Talks podcast. We
Welcome.
got our first guest, my boy Tyler Tarhini. Did I pronounce that right, Tyler?
Oh yeah, the last name perfect.
All right, how you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, dude,
God's been blessing me.
Dude, we're so happy to have this guy.
I know.
So, Tyler, I just want to start off the podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I've been doing the party rental business for 5 years now, but
Okay.
I started out with lawn care and tree service, but I got into it through a waiter job. A kid came in there with a F-250, and I was like, I got to get one of those, so I was like, hopped on the gravy train, and that was it.
So, do you have an F-250 now or not?
Oh, yeah, I do.
For real?
Yeah, we're trying to get a GTR next.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Maybe
fire.
next pod, maybe a year from
Next
now. when we
pod,
have-
you know. get
I
a
know,
little
that's
update.
it. Maybe another year, when the IRS isn't watching me too hard.
Yo, are we gonna have to cut some stuff out, Tyler? What's
Yeah,
going on?
definitely. No financial advice given out here, No, I'm
We
just
might
kidding.
have to get lawyers involved, man. So how's the party rental business?
It's pretty good. It's a lot of manual labor, to be honest with you, but we're heading to do weddings next year because we're trying to go into bigger events and stop going all over Jacksonville,
Okay.
So, you have to be very strong physically and mentally because you have to deal with a bunch of different people,
Mhm.
So you have to have that. You have to have connections too. One thing I've learned too with this business that I'll put into other businesses in the future is you have to go to conventions. I made a lot of connections through conventions. If I didn't meet these people, I wouldn't have my business I have right now.
I got you. So how competitive is the market right now? Is it hard or what's going on? How
I
easy
real-
is it
well,
to start?
To be honest with you, it just depends on where you're located. Where we're located, I really don't like talking about it too much, but it's pretty good because there's
I
not too
gotcha.
much competition,
Gotcha.
But if you go to Tampa, right, you start going down there, it's like 275 per unit. Over here, you can get 400.
Dang.
Sorry to interrupt. What do you mean by like per unit?
Like per inflatable. It's the parties and stuff
So
like
is
that.
it like per day, like 275 per day per unit?
So I do a thing where I deliver the day before, I give the customers more, and then pick up the day after. But a lot of these companies, I don't want to call any companies out here, but they'll give it for 6 hours, and they'll pick up, the same day.
Yeah.
So that's where I beat these people. And,
I don't know if you already said this. How long have you been doing it for?
for about to be 5 years.
Do you think the competition has increased since you started?
Honestly, people get into it, they make a lot of money in it, and then they go start a different business. You know what I mean?
Because I feel sorry to interrupt, but I feel like a lot of people it's very seasonal, right?
Yeah.
So this is it's not very all year round. So how do you plan on how do you plan on going what do you plan on doing next?
Well,
I know you talked about the wedding business, but
Well, for me, it's I plan on. Well, I originally wanted to do trucking, but I've tried that and it's just not my thing.
Mhm.
But the thing, luckily for me, is I don't have a family really. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend. I have a mother and stuff like that, but I don't have any. I don't have any kids or anything like that. So that's what gives me another advantage over these other guys I'm competing against. They have more responsibility. Me, that's why I tell young men, do it while you're young. Don't have a girlfriend. Until you're ready. Don't mess around with women.
Guys, he's
You know.
19.
Wait, so how was the upfront cost? Was it a lot or not necessarily? Because when did you started 5 years ago? So you were 14 at the time.
dude, you were 14.
That's
I was
crazy.
like 15. So
15.
I'm about to turn 20.
Mhm.
But it didn't cost me that much. I had to work 3 jobs at the beginning. I was working as a tree climber.
It didn't cost me that much. I had
Yeah.
to work 3 jobs at 4.
Yeah, well, I had to because I had to buy the inflatables and then the truck, and then my truck. I was having a lot of issues with the truck. You'd be surprised a lot of these companies shut down just because they don't have a reliable truck, and they have to put a new motor in there. And that's like $5-7 grand.
So would you say that's sorry to
No,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off. Would you say that's an essential part of the business?
Yeah, you have to have a pretty good vehicle, to pull everything around. You can't have like a F-150. You got to have that 250.
Yeah, it's a
You know what I'm
250,
saying?
At what point were you set in stone at 15 years old? Because at 15, dude, I was playing video games all day. Were
so
you set in stone that you're
So I worked.
I want to do this?
Well, I worked in tree service. I worked in a mechanic shop, and I see these guys that are working in tree service, and you talk to them. At one point, I wanted to do it. I was doing it for 3 years. Right now, I have still 4 years of experience in tree climbing, but I see how nasty of a job it is. And I look at it, and say, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So let me do something better, save up my money, stay away from women, and put that money into like into a business, you know.
So wait, like you had this mentality at 14, 15
Yeah,
years
well,
old
'cause
that
I-
you knew you wanted to stay away from
Well,
women.
because I worked at a mechanic shop too, and that's another
It was
story.
optional.
But man, this guy was making $40K a month in a mechanic shop, and he had a wife and everything, and things started going downhill for him, and he lost everything because I think his wife and so I saw that, and I'm just like, let me stay away from women.
I gotcha. So
You
we're
know?
like, was it hard at 14 balancing out like I guess school, your family? Was
I'm
it
gonna be honest with you, man. You're never gonna do. Nobody starts things legally.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I just
wow.
grabbed my.
We're just gonna put that on camera.
Well,
right?
I don't care. I bought. I didn't buy. I took my mom's SUV, and I got a trailer off of Facebook, and I started cutting grass. And then I got a riding lawnmower, and I built it up from there. Then I went from that to working for this guy who kind of did me really wrong, didn't pay me that good, to be honest with you, but I just did it to make some money at the time. I was 16 when that was happening. And then went from that to working at Piccadilly. They're all closed now. But I found another tree service guy in there. This guy named John.
Oh, of course.
Really interesting guy.
Yeah, I bet.
Future guest maybe.
Maybe.
But
That'd be interesting.
yeah, we'll see some crash outs in the future maybe. But I found him, started making good money with him, and then when I was working with him, then that kid came in there. And that's when I decided to buy that bounce house. I started going to YouTube, but it's not easy. It takes time to build up things. That's the problem now. People think that you just get into something and that's it. No, it took me 5 years to get here. And it's a lot of manual work. You had to be, I had to sleep in my truck for 2 days in Tampa.
That's crazy.
So it's a big sacrifice. It's not, like internet likes to say everything's easy. They say, oh, make $1 million in a year, 2 years, whatever. It's nothing like that in real life.
So just walk us through, I guess, the timeline. So you started this at 14.
Yeah.
How long did it really take to pick up?
Honestly, not until like 2 years ago.
Right.
I started making good money last year, but then went broke. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of this year, because I was working with my buddy, and I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to be climbing in trees anymore, because I had like stuff going on, like ants falling on me, snake falling on. It's a really nasty job when you're doing palm trees and stuff. So my mentality is, I got to get out of this. So then from that's when I went to go do the start investing into that,
And
so.
you talk about making money, so do you want to ask him the big question?
Oh, am I the pocket watcher?
Nah.
So, I mean, how much do you think? What is the most you've made in a month from your business?
This is what I'll say is, there's
Gross.
people that have around probably the same inventory as me, and they're probably making around 20. It just depends on the month. Me personally, I can't say anything because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
But they make around probably 20K a month.
A month.
People similar to you?
People, like
Okay.
it's people,
Yeah,
right?
make like
Most
around
people.
Yeah.
So should we round up or down?
It just depends, because it depends on what type of truck. Like your truck could break down and you make 20 grand. Let's just say you make 20 grand, then you got to put 5 grand into it. You have employees, you maintenance on these things, I mean, and then advertisement is my biggest expense. Google is like, I'll tell you right now, I mean, like they advertise it's $500 a month. It's never $500.
You're just plugging that out there for other people trying to get into the business?
Yeah, but you're going to spend 13. That's why I said people with kids can't really, I mean, like if I had kids, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd be living underneath a bridge. That's it. So I say do everything while you're young. Don't get no girlfriend, because none of them are good, right now.
You heard Tyler said it first.
Wait, you said none of them are good?
There's only 99% of the women out here. They're all garbage.
So okay, I actually wanted to transition into, because I guess we're talking a lot about women. So
Yeah.
how has your relationships, social life have been? Because I know you're very determined.
Yeah, the business
as
takes up a
people
lot
could
of
tell.
time.
Yeah.
Business takes a lot of time. So how's your social life been?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm a young man, just like everybody here. Everybody sitting here. We all have hormones running through our body. If I said that wrong.
Wait, can we pause? Can you pause it? What do you mean by hormones? Can you elaborate on what
Like
that is?
I don't know if I'm saying it right. The stuff that runs through your
Oh,
body.
he's just trying to pressure you. He's just trying to pressure you.
But yeah, we're all dealing with that, and I really had to have some really good self-control. Even like in high school, I had to have a lot of self-control. I was putting myself around bad people, doing certain things, and I have to learn how to say no. Everybody has to learn how to say no.
of course.
And not give in to fitting in. That's why the vapes and all that stuff is killing this new generation. TikTok's killing this new generation too.
I love how he's like an old. He's like he has an old soul. Like he's just.
I know, bro's like 40 years old
He's
inside.
19,
Wait,
but he's an
so
old
tell me,
man.
have you always been like this? Like at 14, you started this business. How do you transfer from just?
Well, I'm the type of guy I learn from people's mistakes, and I think me working in these other people's, like I said, seeing the mistakes they made, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be 40, 50 years old, still breaking my back. I'm already having issues with my left knee and my back already from tree climbing, because these things weigh 700 pounds.
Yeah.
These things that I'm setting up at people's houses.
Yeah.
So. I want to keep my back intact and my knee intact,
And David, I know you talked about like, man, you were like so young doing this, but I think we should talk about how we went to school with him. Funny enough,
Yeah.
and how
Oh,
we
yeah.
He said, do you actually want to talk about how we reconnected with him?
Yeah, I guess I'll just give a quick sum up. But
Yeah.
he
was like that geek that nobody wanted to talk to at school.
Now this geek.
He hung out with weird people.
Now we're asking this
I mean,
geek for
no,
money, bro.
I don't think he was weird, but like he'd always have a hoodie on, kind of, and like
Well, I don't know. This is the people that were there were kind of weird, so I was just like, let me stay away from them. This guy named Isael and Kenneth and David, So I was like, let me put this hoodie on and stay. I don't know. I just like I had this thing always with self-control, though. I never really was too. I mean, I could realistically any guy can really get with a girl. I feel like it's just finding the right one. And
yeah. No, we were at a restaurant and we've seen each other at this point multiple times, but never said anything. And then at one point, I was just like, "Hey, man, you look so familiar. Is your name Tyler?" Because he looked very
You
different.
said that? Like you said his
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
No,
Tyler.
this is
Yeah,
false.
because when
This is false.
When I was,
Okay,
this is fine.
well,
Bro's capping.
I-
it
when
was
he
the
was-
other way around.
it was the other way around.
Yeah, I came up to you.
Are you sure?
I mean, how are you gonna know me if I'm the weird kid with the hood on?
No, because I know you had
knew
really,
him.
I know you had really long hair before, and then you had shorter hair when I saw you.
Yeah.
So I was
Tyler,
just
I
like,
believe you're right because I think he called me that same day. He's like, "Dude, do you remember this guy named Tyler?"
Yeah, see, he didn't
I was
even
like,
remember
"No."
the.
I said no.
I
Yeah,
did.
I
I remembered
said
your
no
last
as well.
name and everything. I was like, "Hey, do you remember a guy named Tyler Tarhini?"
And then he said he came up to me.
Oh, okay, then yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but none of that stuff really matters if you're weird in high school or anything like that, because most of the people from high school, it's very rare that you have a friend group like this where
Yeah.
you guys know each other, but the average friend group, you don't see nobody come out of high school with friends.
Yeah, I
from
get what you mean.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I've seen that a
So,
lot.
the good thing about I did drop out, but I went back and got my diploma.
Okay.
But in that process, I dropped out. I built up a company,
Yeah.
and I set myself up instead of like sitting there playing video games. Another thing destroying
Yeah.
the younger generation.
So did you play video games a lot when you were younger?
So it's actually crazy. Yeah, I was an addict, believe it.
Oh
Well, I believe you.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, at like 14, 13, but it's just weird. It's like I started working, like I said, I saw these people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'll end up like them.
Dude, that's crazy. So you were 13 working.
Yeah, no, not 13, like 14 is like, I kind of, because at one point I wanted to be a mechanic,
Mhm.
and my mom kind of threw me in this place, to work there, but it was good for that she did that because it gave me a reality check. A lot of people need a reality check,
Mhm. Yeah.
to see that, you can end up really in a bad situation if you don't do it while you're young, or you could be. It's better to start a business when you're younger than when you're 30.
Yeah. Do you think business is for everybody?
Definitely not, because like you have to be there's people that would freak out. Like there's certain situations like when I got stuck in Tampa, I had to sleep in my truck for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
There would have probably been different responses to that. There would have been people that would have probably just freaked out
Mhm.
and probably just ditch everything and take
So,
an Uber home and ditch everything, and everything gets stolen.
So like,
you
what's
know?
the story behind Tampa? I know you talked about it. Like, what do you
So-
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
So when I first would do these things, I would buy them used. I didn't buy them brand new. Nobody can
The
afford these.
inflatables.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't buy these things brand new.
What did they run you? Brand new.
Brand new, they're around $4 to $6 grand a piece.
Okay, subtract that. We're calculating his. we need this for the thumbnail.
We're
sorry.
gonna calculate that then.
Well, and then buying them used is just stupid now because I look at I can wholesale them and get them for literally the same price as used when you buy them in bulk. But I would go out to Tampa to buy these things, and I went out there. The water size I was actually buying was $2,800, and I broke down out there, and I knew I shouldn't have went out there. And the guy, I gave him cash too, and I knocked on his door. It was a really terrible experience. It definitely changed my view on everything, knocking on his door and like a glass of water like this to me at that time, I would have paid like $1,000. I would have paid anything to get a glass of water because everything was if you break down in Tampa, everything is like 10 miles away. So, and then I broke down, went to a mechanic shop trying to find someone to fix my truck, and they told me $5 grand. And at the time, I didn't have that type of money, and the guy was just trying to rip me off,
wow.
So thank God, God sent me 2 angels the next day. I had to sleep in my truck the next day. They fixed my truck, and I got out of there, you know.
And did you come back with the inflatable?
No, I had it on the back of my trailer the whole time. I held on. That's what I'm saying. Somebody else that's not strong mentally, they would have ditched it.
So you were able to come through with the inflatable.
Yeah, because it was a really sketchy area that I was in. You know what I mean? And the truck almost got robbed like 2-3 times. You know.
Man.
So thank God I got home and Angel was watching me. You know. Yeah. So thank God for that.
So you say God? Are you religious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you think God has helped you through what you do?
He's definitely given me the wisdom
question.
because before I went to the expo, I prayed. I said, God, put me around the right people, give me the wisdom to run this business, and He did. You know, I met this marketing team out there, really good marketing team, and they set my business up really good. You know, but they're my marketing team.
We're not putting that out there.
No.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No, maybe I should help them out, but you know what? They make plenty of money.
No,
so.
stop. I got you right here. So we're actually dropping a course.
Oh wow.
We'll leave a link in the
2
description.
episodes in.
2 episodes in, we're dropping a course. Start your own inflatable business. Make what he said, $20K a month.
Yeah, that's what the other company. But yeah, you have to take into accountability. It's like 6 months on, 6 months off. You know, so you have to be really responsible with your money. A lot of people aren't responsible. You know, they go finance these things, and these are the worst things to finance because it's like for 20 grand to lock you in at $1,000 a month. Like if you spend 20 grand on these things.
Dude, that's crazy. So even in Florida, like there's an off season, even if it's Florida.
Maybe in Miami, I don't know because I haven't really. I've talked to some people, but it's overpopulated in Miami.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah. Did you ever would you ever think about like expanding, like other cities, other states potentially?
Be honest with you, people don't understand is like once you start getting more trucks on the road, the more it's already a very big task running it here. Exactly. So I'm like thinking like my quality might go, I like my quality. I like keeping quality with what I sell. Yeah. I feel like if I go to that level, it might not be the same quality out there, but I still have to find the right people.
Yeah. And you feel like that's what set you apart, how you treat your clients.
Yeah.
You know? So what's your I know is it hard dealing with certain people sometimes? Like, do you ever just want to smack somebody across the face? Yeah,
we've had certain situations. Is like if I didn't have a certain guy in my truck, if I had my other buddy in my truck, we probably would have gotten into fights with some. But thank God, God works in mysterious ways, and had my other guy in the truck, so it didn't get physical.
So what's one of
what's one of the craziest experiences?
I mean, I've had people come up to the truck and try to fight me.
You
know, over a stupid water slide. You know, the lady, they were drunk because it's an adult party. I come there to pick it up. I already gave it to them I only charged them for 1 day. They already had it for 4 days. Yeah. I come out there, I say, okay, it's the 4th day. I have to pick this thing up. This is all the way in like Middleburg, like far. And then they come out there charging at me and stuff, like these 2 fat ladies. I was like, bro, I'm gonna put them down, I swear. But
okay.
But my other buddy, he's a Christian guy, and I can't put that show on in front of him.
So what made you not want to put them down?
So they actually ended up giving me more money because I told them, I said, hey, you have to give me something. So they actually eventually budged in and gave me an extra 50, which is nothing. It's all the way in Middleburg. They gave me an extra $50.
So that covered for the gas there and back.
Yeah, that's it. But not even that, bro. I mean, this was like deep in Middle. It's like over an hour, like St. Augustine traveling. So you know,
up to recently, you were still working 2 jobs, right?
I was still working in the tree company, but I recently, because the thing about me with the tree is like I'm the climber, so the climber makes the most money out there because you have the riskiest job.
I got you.
But it's just not worth it. Those guys don't get paid enough. I'm really sorry to say, but you have people sitting there in a house on a computer making all that money, and then you're up there in a tree. It's very insulting sometimes. I'm working for a guy like that. So I'm like, forget that. You know, I'm going to start my own thing, and sooner or later I'll be the guy working from a computer or something like that, you know?
Because I was going to ask you, the next question was, how scalable do you think these water slides are?
You can, because if I had 100, I could have 100 go out. Like, I'm not joking. It just, but you have to spend more money on the marketing. If you don't do that, it's all about the marketing.
So you just want to keep it where it's at right now?
I kind of like where it's at. I want to keep it at where it's at and just add weddings to it, because once I start doing weddings, that's it. You know what I mean? Because I have bigger events. I don't have to go all over Jacksonville, deal with a whole bunch of different people, you know? So
speaking about that, what do your work days look like right now? Like how long, what are the intervals?
Well, people think that this is like a weekend thing, and it's really not. It's I work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day during the summertime, you know, waking up, and then you have to deal, you never know, you might have to hire somebody. I'm never doing that again. You might have to hire somebody you have to pick up, you know. And I had to do that with my lawn care company before, and when I was doing tree service, and that sucks, you know. So I learned from this year, and I lost a lot of money too this year. I made good money, but I lost money. So
have you ever thought about selling the company?
Yeah, once I find something, if I find something that's really good.
So do you think like this is something you generally enjoy, or you think it's something you built up and now I guess
I enjoy like when I have return customers, you know.
Like
I mean, yeah, they're cool because you already know the setup and everything like that. But once you like you come across some weird people sometimes. Like there's times where they want you to take off like the spigot on a house, and it's like an old spigot. Like that's actually another story.
What's a spigot?
Like a water spigot, like something you connect a water hose to.
Okay. I was confused. I'm like,
Thank you for that question. He's like, so I wasn't gonna ask that.
Yeah, because it was all old, and this is like in $1 million area, Ortega, really rich area. And the lady, it was all corroded, and I told her, I said 10 times, I said, hey lady, I can't do this. Get your husband to do it, you know. And she just kept arguing with me, and she eventually, she's like telling me, go get some pliers, and we got our pliers. I shouldn't have did it, and I went to shot right off. It almost hit her.
Oh snap!
So like, if you saw my face in the moment, I looked like completely defeated because it was just water shooting out of the thing, and it's just hitting me in the face. I'm just getting madder and madder as this water's hitting me in the face. You know?
Somebody crash out on the
bro. Like I was like, that's why I say you have to have really good self control.
Yeah.
Because like someone else that I know would probably scream at the customer, you know. So I have good self control in certain situations, you know.
So do you think that sets you apart from other people?
Definitely. I think because I'm younger too, I can mentally. I feel like an older guy.
Do you think like the clients treat you differently because you're younger? Like I feel like regular people can't really tell that you're a younger guy, but like can other people be like, oh, like you're?
Well, sometimes I play like a little act. Like I play like I'm a worker. You know why?
Oh,
because they
smart.
tip. You know, they'll see that. Because they'll tip.
No, cut that part out, bro.
But they'll tip. Like they see like, because I'm the owner, so I'm not gonna act like a worker. I'm gonna make sure this thing's really clean because it's my property. And they see that, they say, man, this guy's a really good worker. Boom, I make extra $50 there. You know, goes towards the gas, whatever.
That's awesome.
You know, so that's why I do that. It's split. And then if something does happen, sometimes you know you have defects. You go to someone's house, their outlet doesn't work right.
Yeah.
They'll be calling me, but they won't scream at me because they think I'm just a worker. So, but I know, but I always tell them, say, hey, plug it into a different outlet and it works fine.
I got you.
You know, so it prevents people from screaming at me too because they think, oh, this guy's just a worker. You know.
So has anybody like fricked up your inflatable, like put a hole through it or something?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does this happen like often or not necessarily?
No, not really.
Try and keep the mic a bit closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I had this one lady, in a ghetto neighborhood. This is why I raised my price. You know, if you keep your price low, you're gonna get lower class people. I raised my price.
That's a very good point.
And you know, I came there and dropped it off, and we came back, and it was like in a convenience store, in the front of a convenience store. I'm not even joking. It went from like, because she said her landlord they can't have that there, the inflatable. So she said she had to move it, and they dragged it across concrete, so the whole bottom of it completely destroyed. And that was like, thank God it wasn't. Well, I don't think they'd be able to pull if it was one of my water slides because they weigh 600-700 pounds. It was like a 300-pound unit.
So did you get reimbursed or no? You just took the L.
So that's when I was like 2 years into the business. I didn't take people's down payments, so I didn't get people's cards on file. So I wasn't able to like charge the card. You know, so I got screwed on that, but I learned from my lesson.
Yeah. So
Has anyone?
Go ahead. You're good.
Has anyone ever tried to like rob you, like keep the inflatable or rob it? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think the closest was that lady that tried to fight me.
Oh, okay.
The fat ladies?
Yeah, the fat ladies.
Wait, why'd you have to specify they were fat?
There ain't nothing wrong with them.
I mean, just emphasize that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
it's a type of description.
Yeah, that's it. Heavier woman.
She was a bit on the heavier side.
Yeah, I'd just say she had a little bit
They're
more.
pretty. I mean, they were really aggressive. They actually ended up texting me later saying, "We're so sorry, this and that." I'm like, "This is why you don't drink."
I bet their hair was dyed too.
Yeah, it was actually red.
No way.
Yeah, it's always. I think that dye does something to the brain. Or
Dude,
something.
I definitely agree.
Was that a genuine guess? You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. I'm just
like
guessing.
like blue hair. I feel like the blue hair goes into the brain or something like
Dude,
that.
That's dangerous. Yeah.
I don't know. And
I wonder who they support.
Me too.
Actually, talking about who we support, who do you support in this presidential election?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't vote.
Race, sorry.
I mean, it's rigged. It's rigged.
You really
know
think
what
it's
I mean?
rigged?
The only reason why, like, I just feel like they already rigged it before, you know? So.
Yeah.
Okay, so who? I mean,
So who would you run
Like,
for?
wait,
If I had to pick a guy, it would be the guy. You know what I mean?
would that
Why
make
the guy?
It'd be the guy.
Why the guy though?
So
Because we need somebody with some strength, man.
so
Like,
you don't think a woman should be running the country?
no, women shouldn't be a leader. You know what I mean? They're not built for that.
I agree with you to an extent on that.
Yeah,
Gotta be careful with what I
but
say.
I've met some good managers that are women.
Yeah.
But
Really?
yeah, it's,
That's
decent.
surprising.
But she's the one.
Let it out, David.
Let it out.
I don't mean in that manner. I mean, it's just.
I mean, the one they got up there right now. It's just a whole. It's just a show. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
But these people don't care about us.
I
You know, the
gotcha.
people in so that's it. I mean, the government shouldn't really be taxing
That's
working class people either.
So just to specify, you mean Trump, right?
No, the other lady, the Kamala.
Kamala.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like you want, the man.
You see how she's changing her accent,
I see.
different things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
No, I don't.
That's really funny, actually.
Well, I mean, what has she really done though? You know what I mean? Nothing. I mean, everything's high right now.
It is everything.
You know, and the corrupted people are in charge, and nobody's doing anything about it. That's why they put TikTok out there to make everybody dumb.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
do you ever just scroll on TikTok or no?
Sometimes, but
So you get dumb every.
yeah. So
You allow
I
yourself.
lose some brain cells.
How much brain rot do you actually have?
I have 0.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all business. Like I just like do
That's
it because I look at the new water slides in company because they put stuff on TikTok. So I just watch that stuff.
Do you
really.
do you put stuff on TikTok and Instagram, stuff like that?
No. I actually have an Instagram, but I don't really put too much on it.
So most of your revenue just comes straight from like marketing, like straight.
Just Google, really. I mean,
And customers.
Yeah.
Recurring customers. Is that the word?
yeah. Customers coming back. Google is my number one. Facebook is like, I feel like I'm kind of wasting money on that, to be honest with
Really?
you. So I wouldn't recommend Facebook. Instagram, I mean, that's stuff like that's good for people that do like construction. I feel like epoxy floors and stuff. Because like the Facebook ads, when you're scrolling, you always see like epoxy or something like that.
That is true. That
You
is
know?
true. I always see
Like
the garage floors.
satisfying
Yeah.
videos.
One thing I say is like we'll be talking like, let's just say we start talking about like Tulsa welding. Like that's a good example. I bet you in 2 days like that'll be on that phone, like an ad for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know?
Yeah,
Phones
that
are
happens to me all the
definitely
time.
listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens to me all the time.
No, like seriously, it's crazy. You know, I mean, they listen to everything we do, and I also believe too, like this phone has like so much power. You know, and a lot of people now are giving it to children.
Yeah.
You know, and they shouldn't be doing that.
So you're like 2 years in, right?
Yeah.
Did you kind of realize what you were doing isn't really normal, I guess, at 16? Or did you just think it was just, I guess, normal for you?
To be honest with you, the only kid that I met that was doing what I was doing was this other kid, Blake. He's cool, but the biggest difference between me and him is like I started
We're
this
calling him out.
with my money, not like my dad. My dad didn't help me. Nobody
Yeah,
helped me.
yeah.
My mom helped me because I stole her.
You're
I
right.
used her SUV, you know, but that's it.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't have anybody else that really like motivate. It's just the life situations I've been is what's motivated me.
Yeah.
You know.
I gotcha. So did your parents support you dropping out and just starting a business or not really?
I mean, she knew. I think because she saw it was working, so she was like, "That's okay." You know what I mean? And the coronavirus hit, and I kept telling her, I said, "I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back." But I started making some money. She saw I have I have a good work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, I can
yeah,
keep
You
working.
definitely do, yeah.
Like, what point did she realize, like, okay, like, I think I'm gonna just let him do his own thing, or was she always on you?
I don't know. I think she's always let me kind of do my own thing. Like she kind of threw me in that mechanic shop. I said I want to go in that mechanic shop. She threw me in there. You know, sometimes that's what these people should do is throw their children. Just
Yeah.
throw their children.
I think, honestly,
Those children.
that's better than giving them like an iPad and
And,
just letting them scroll.
Sorry to interrupt you. I know you talk a lot about your mom, but
Mhm.
was your dad much around, or?
No, he wasn't. So that's actually something I like too. Is like you don't need a dad. You know, you don't. You do. Well, you do need a father. I had my
I
grandfather.
disagree a little bit.
Well, that's
Yeah, I think you need a father figure. In your
you
life.
definitely do. That's right. But there's not a lot of people like me that can. You know, they put themselves down.
Exactly.
And I never say you should put yourself down. Just because you don't have a father, so what? You can still. We still all have like. We're still all humans. We
Mhm.
still, you
Yeah.
know, you can
But
work just as hard as me.
Did you have like a male figure or no?
I actually had my grandfather.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
what did your
So he
grandfather
had that
think?
like male father.
Yeah.
What did your grandfather think about that?
I mean, he was just like there was no entrepreneurship or anything like that. You know, it was just like I just got a lot of morality from him.
How have your experiences been talking to?
So
women,
one
I
thing
guess,
I've learned
recently?
is like most of these women, like I said, I really hate to say it, but most of them are trash. Like, like, dude, it's like you can't really. a lot of them are brainwashed. Like now they believe a lot in this like astrology. And if you ask me, that stuff is witchcraft.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where picking the right woman comes into play. Dude,
That's freaking hilarious.
I think that's where picking the right woman comes into play. I don't think you're gonna pick a woman that likes astrology. Like,
100%.
Yeah, forget that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
But I'm saying like it's always good to have that like I feel like insurance in life. I keep saying that. But to know like, okay, if I really start getting, because you never know, you never experience it. It's usually people only experience that once in their life, a divorce. But some people are crazy and they experience it multiple times.
Yeah, I know people that have experienced like 4 divorces.
Yeah.
I know, that's like
That's so
crazy.
upsetting,
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
4.
Four.
Bro. Second time.
Bro, making that money, man, for real.
that's so crazy.
Yeah, did you guys know that the woman that with the highest net worth
Jeff
currently,
Bezos' wife.
But he cheated.
her income
on
is
her.
by
He
divorce?
lied to her.
Jeff
I
Bezos?
Jeff
don't know.
Bezos cheated on her.
He cheated on her, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dang.
So she got that.
I just saw that. I just saw that fact.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, it's like-
he cheated on her.
It's
like, I wasn't
different
known.
because
I
that
just saw that
guy,
fact somewhere. I didn't know why.
well, that guy has like status. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta think he's got so much temptation. Like he can literally do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He can have whoever he wants in his house.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. Like I guess that guy's not mentally strong.
But, yeah, that's where also God comes in. You know, if you don't have God in your life, you're gonna
yeah, with
commit
that fear
these-
of God, that doesn't.
that
you know.
shouldn't exist. You know.
Yeah. I feel like if I find the right woman, you know, I'll stay with her. I'm not like a cheater or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's very
Is
hard.
this his
to,
application?
Yeah.
Is that-
well, it's very
Any
it's
woman
no
out
because it's
there,
very
hit my boy
hard.
out.
You know, these women are like one thing I've learned to stay away from a woman that smokes. To me, that's like the most unattractive thing.
Yeah.
A woman that smokes. You know, and they usually do they do a lot of other bad things too.
Yeah.
So what's like a must that you need from a woman?
She has to be like she has to have morality.
Okay.
Can't just be like a girl that like doesn't care, goes out in the street and
Yeah,
you tell her
of
like
course.
she's wearing a bikini or whatever and you're like, hey, can you cover up? And they're like, no, it's my body.
That's dangerous.
So you wouldn't have your woman wear a bikini.
Bro, you know what? That's like the equivalent. Like, so it's crazy because like women wear bras, right, and panties, and if they went down the road with that, you'd be like, oh my god, or other women would be like, oh my god. But it's the same thing as a bikini. It's the same. It covers the same exact things, but it's just America.
Wait, what's a bikini technically? That is.
The two-piece top and then.
Oh, okay.
Bikini was just the bottom.
No, but it's like the
You
top,
might be
the whole
right.
thing.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know. Just we're using two-piece, I guess.
Yeah.
So you would like that's a no.
No,
Let's
because
say you're about to go to the beach with your wife, girlfriend, whoever it may be at the time, and she comes out. She's like, "Babe, I'm ready to go to the beach, to the pool," and you see her in a bikini.
yeah, I tell
What's
her.
your reaction?
I would just be like, hey, can you please cover up? But no matter what, men are always gonna look at your woman. I feel like.
Yeah.
But they'll look at
absolutely.
they'll look at your woman more if she's in a two-piece bikini.
100%,
You
yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
that's why I feel like they should
Yeah.
cover up. You know.
Yeah, that's a consequence of having an attractive woman. You're
Mhm.
Is
always-
that how you are too? Like, if your woman's like, "I'm going out in a bikini," you're like,
Sometimes I get a little like, how do I say this? I'm trying to be careful with what I say.
"No, say, bro, this is a podcast."
What
we
on
talk
here? You're
about-
trying to be
be
careful what
open,
you say
be
on here or
open.
to your girl.
No, just in general. I'm trying to like on here basically. I mean, I don't love it, but I mean, what is she gonna go in? Like a dress? I don't know.
They got stuff that they can cover up. You know, but you know, but like
But, I mean, that also comes with, I guess, knowing your girl. Like
Yeah,
that. I
that-
personally have full trust in my girlfriend right
Yeah, like I agree with the same thing. Like my girlfriend, she goes out in a bikini.
now. Like,
If I'm with her, I'm okay.
Like,
Or
bro,
even if
I mean,
she's with her
obviously-
friends, like I trust her enough
Yeah.
to not have to doubt her or anything. And guys go out in short shorts,
that's what I'm saying.
and
Mhm.
it's like if a guy's walking in underwear, you're gonna be like, "What the
Yeah.
hell is he doing?" But he's doing it at the beach.
Mhm.
Speedos,
yeah.
cock. I mean,
Whoa.
but I don't know.
We're getting too
I mean,
comfortable
I think
here.
it just comes to, like, I guess a matter of if you
Mhm.
really, I guess, trust your woman enough
Mhm.
to, I guess, allow her. I just trust my
Well-
woman enough to allow her to do that. I mean, I don't want her wearing something super revealing. Like, I mean, my girlfriend, she wears, like, in my opinion, like, what she wears to the beach is, like, perfect.
Mhm.
It's
What
not,
is it?
it's not revealing. It's just not revealing. You know? It's just
What,
not revealing. It's like a, how do I say this? It's a two-piece,
Modest.
but it's modest, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, you know? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
I'm more of
it.
talking like thongs and like.
Oh,
jeans.
absolutely not.
yeah.
Heck no,
That
absolutely
that
not.
is where I step.
Yeah.
in.
That is where I
I'm
step in.
sorry.
That's but then again, my girlfriend
one
would never
word.
wear that. Like, that never crossed through her mind. That's why you should pick a right woman.
Yeah.
Your woman's a woman of God.
Amen. Yeah, my woman
Mhm.
is a woman of God, thank God.
Yeah.
So that comes with picking the right woman
I know, but
You're never gonna have to worry about that if you pick the right one.
I agree, and I think you'll notice that once you
And
feel
you'll-
like you found the right one.
Yeah, I think you'll know.
it's got to be a woman that's like very mentally like
Mature.
strong. You know what I mean?
To handle you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's like a good thing because like a lot of this modern like our generation, they're very weak. You know, they hear something, they start cracking. You know, like
Yeah.
I'll say something. I don't want to say it because we're on camera, but I'll say certain things and they'll be freaking out. I
Cool.
mean, like just people. I've talked to people my age, and it's just like I go talk to these older people. I like country people, honestly, because you can talk to them and they don't care.
Mhm.
You know. But you talk to like you go to Chick-fil-A or you go to Chipotle. This is where you find these like
Starbucks.
yeah, these like Starbucks kids, and you say like anything like about Indians or anything like that, like black.
problem.
Like you talk about like the government or anything like
It's a
that.
problem,
You know, they start like they're not in tune with reality.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
So you think this is where like social media has played a big part in influencing these young kids and all this stuff to basically, I guess, be the way they are?
They like it because they can make these people very mentally weak. You know what I mean? They can get a person to vote for somebody just because of their skin color.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. Is like you go talk to certain people, they be, oh, I voted for this person. Why? Because he's black.
Yeah,
Big whoop you do.
Yeah.
I think cancel culture is really dangerous. Like you can't really say anything online without getting kind of
Mhm.
flamed. But I mean,
I feel like that's the government.
but have you ever
I
have you ever
I
experienced that? Have you ever gotten
agree,
lashback?
kinda.
Have you gotten lashback from I guess saying
For
stating
anything,
your
I
opinions?
have.
From?
Like customers. Like
What have you
one
said?
customer, but not even a customer. I think it was like another company.
What happened?
I think they're trolling my Google.
Oh.
You know.
Your Google reviews?
Yeah.
What was the name?
Bend over.
Are you serious?
So like
Yeah.
under the Google
Yeah.
review it said
It says bend over, and they're saying like I've never. Why would I like? I'm setting up a water slide. I'm gonna say something racist. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, so what do you say? What was the comment?
it was these guys were rude and racist. I come from Chinese communists or something. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I'm like, bro, I don't care. I actually like Asians because you know why? Asians are hard workers.
They are hard
You know what I mean?
workers.
And I don't even think that was really an Asian person because Asian people don't care about stuff like that. You never see an Asian person get mad. What, you racist?
Or also be called bend over. Like I've
Yeah,
never
like
met-
you know,
That's
who's
an interesting
Asian
name.
would bend over is their
That's
name.
very interesting.
yeah.
But you know, that's why I like a lot of like immigrants. They don't care, bro. They'll take your money
Okay,
and they'll
really.
keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't
true.
care.
Have you gotten any? I guess. Like, how are your competitors? Do you know any of your competitors
Yeah,
personally?
I'm friends with some of them.
Are they cool, or do you guys not have a good
Well,
relationship?
I've had one come on my property when I first started, and he was like, "Your prices are too high," and I was
How-
like,
how do you find your prices?
Your prices
No,
are
no,
too
no, no,
high, I
no.
don't
Your
like
prices,
that.
no, your prices are too low. You're messing up the market. This is when I first, I worded that
Oh,
wrong.
okay. Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
understandable, but that's more realistic.
but you know, I told him, and then like at that time, I wasn't running with a license. You know what I mean? Like I said, nobody does anything legally. Right now, the police don't care about much. You can do a lot now.
Right now, or like back then?
But you do things legally, right?
I mean, yeah, I do
Now
now
we're
legally.
fully legal,
Yeah,
correct?
more
Now
legal,
fully-
bro.
okay,
Don't worry
awesome.
about it.
Perfect.
But
Get that out there.
now a lot of people think that you have to start everything legally, and you really don't. I mean, they literally have vape stores, and you can sell all these like they're drugs. That's what's in these places, and they can legally sell these things now.
Yeah.
You know, so that shows you where the world.
Do you
we're
think
in.
that's the government as well?
The government's making money off it because they can tax these companies.
Yeah.
That's why the prostitution too. They let prostitution slide in certain states because they can
No
tax
way?
that. Yeah.
Are you serious? How they can tax
OnlyFans, man, also is
That's
prostitution.
you're very right. You're very right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like legal prostitution.
Yeah, I mean, you can make some money, get some girls, you know, put them on there.
Okay. Wow. I'm not sure.
Business ideas with that?
Yeah, we'll make some money here. No.
Is this financial advice or not?
Yeah, just don't start a water slide company after this. No, I'm just playing. If you're a young man, I say it's a good idea. If you're like 28, 30, I mean,
You're
it's always
too
good to
late,
start.
bud.
Yeah, bro. Like if you got a family,
You gotta feed
it's
your
like
kids.
because like the thing about me is I put everything into this,
Yeah.
like everything. I could have a brand new car, you know, or whatever, because that's at one point that's what I wanted, but. Now what I want is I want to take care of my family, and I want to, you know, put my mom in a nice house, put myself in a nice house, you know. I mean, I'm in a decent place, but it's always good to have like, you
Just
know,
want to be better, always constantly.
Yeah.
trying
How
to be
have your?
better.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
No, you're
You
good.
gonna go ahead?
No, you
I was gonna say, you good, bro?
yeah, I'm
Oh,
listening.
okay. I was gonna say, how have your goals changed? Like, did you, like the beginning, did you want that nice car? Did you want to impress others? And you've kind of shifted to wanting to buy your mother a house and having your family, I guess, in a better place?
I think
Or is it a mix of both?
it's a mixture of
That's
both.
fair.
But like at one point, I used to be like, okay, if I'm making like, I would always say be humble, but when you start making money, it doesn't stop. in a sense, because you'll make $4,000 and you'll be like, okay, once I start making $7,000, I'll be cool. You know, that's all I need to live. But then you start making $7,000,
Yeah.
and then you start. I mean, it just depends. But I was always been pretty humble, honestly. But I don't know. When I start making money, it was just like, okay, I got to go to the next because I have more responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think what gets better is your self-respect. I mean, you don't want to hang out around people.
Yeah, I don't even hang. I only have a very small friend group. That's
Are we part of that friend group? Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys are pretty cool.
We made it. Oh, Tyler.
Yeah.
See, so what were you gonna say?
Group.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna almost be like a fact checker here. That's true. I remember not too long ago, him and me were speaking, and he made a large investment of a lot of money while wanting a specific car that he could have like obviously got with that money. And I think it takes like ambition to really do
That's
something
what
like
separates them.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
you
separates
could have easily
Like-
bought yourself a nice, I don't know, a GTR maybe.
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
But, I mean, now
he
you
literally
reinvest-
invested it all into the business
That's
again.
awesome.
Yeah, I went into this year actually almost like straight. I had to go back to like tree climbing, like to make it through the beginning of this year. But then I had to roll, and I was like, thank God, because if that didn't work, I'd still be in a tree right now.
And you
You
think? Sorry. You think this year's definitely like put your faith more in God? Like, wow, like this is. Do you think this year really kind of changed your perspective with your whole faith and how you like spiritually?
Yeah, honestly, well, what I learned is like this whole year, what I've been doing, and it's kind of bad. What I've honestly been doing, I keep asking God for help, right? And God is not really, you know, that's not a good thing to only ask Him whenever I need Him.
Of
You know,
course.
Yeah.
He wants to have a relationship with me, you know. So, it's like I go to bed now, I said, you know, and tell Him about my day because that's what He wants to know, you know. So,
Oh, that's very nice.
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah.
So, do you think you have a healthy balance between, I guess, your work schedule and God, or do you think you're still working on that?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
This guy knows, you know.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to always try to get to church, you know.
That's awesome.
So, but it's not just church. Like I don't really believe like I believe in just having a relationship with Jesus is the
Yeah.
best thing
Yeah,
for me.
I think
Because He's always there, you know. Church is a building.
it
you
is a
know,
building. Yeah.
But Jesus is spiritual.
I think anywhere is church, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have church anywhere. I don't think it has to be
Yeah,
a building.
you know, as the word says that we are the church. You know, it's
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
a physical place.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a reason why God entrusted you with the responsibility of what you have right now? Because, I mean, what you're taking on is a heavy load for a 19-year-old, no?
I actually
Yeah.
prayed and I said, God, I'm a very hard worker. I just need work. And like I had that prayer and I started having visions. And I had visions, well, it's very kind of deep. My grandfather passed on like 2 years ago, but I had a dream with him handing me money. You know what I mean? And I knew that sometimes I remember certain dreams I have because they mean stuff. People think that the dreams is whatever, but
Mhm.
I've literally had dreams come true.
Spiritual.
You know, and I'm dealing. You know, everybody deals with things in their life. You know, I probably have something because I had a dream with snakes. You know, and I killed 2 of the snakes, and I still have 1 snake to kill. So, I'm trying to figure that out. You know, and
Yeah.
eliminate Satan out of my life because I have a feeling that's Satan. You know.
Of course.
Yeah,
Any-
I think God talks to you in different
Yeah.
ways. So.
Do you
Yeah.
think that keeps you motivated?
Yeah, honestly. What keeps me motivated too sometimes is I see people that are like, sometimes it's good to be curious and look at what people have. My mother told me it's not good to look at what people have, but sometimes it is because that's how I got into my business. I looked at a guy, he had a Ford F-250. I was like, okay, he must
Yeah.
make good money.
I mean, you gotta kind of go, I guess, along with it's already working, I guess. I don't
Mhm.
really know.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten mentored, or did you do this all by yourself?
I did it all by myself.
Really?
I just went out there and did it. Like I said, I took the SUV, started cutting grass,
Of course.
and then I found out about the kid, and he told me, okay, he does party rentals. So I started watching YouTube videos. Like, oh, this looks pretty profitable. And I bought my first. I started with a bounce house. I don't even do bounce house anymore. I just do big things now, like big water slides and
Really?
all that. You know, and then we're heading to do weddings now.
That's
so
awesome.
that's what I'm looking.
When you
Is-
say we, like, do you mean? I mean, it's
Me
just
and-
a sub company. Like, this is basically just you and the helper, right?
Well, yeah, I've scaled it to where I keep saying we because I put like the company because I'm so used to telling customers like sounding like an employee.
Mhm.
I still have that. Like that's crazy. I keep saying
because I've
we.
noticed it because you keep saying we.
Let's hope
and,
customers don't watch
I mean,
this.
he does have multiple employees. so-
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. It's just now it's like, see, now you guys called me out on that. I never even realized that. I'm saying we.
Yeah.
You know, it's my company, but I like to say we because like when I come out there, I like to pretend to be an employee.
Yeah.
But
Would you ever consider maybe earning less and, I guess, having a
Delegating?
delegating? That's the correct word. Have you ever considered delegating?
yeah, I have thought about just hiring guys, but the problem with this business is it's a good thing, but I only want to be in it for so much longer
Yeah,
because I'm always gonna be out here working. You know, sooner or later I want to find something where I'm like, I'm trying to save up as much as I can to get in something even bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
What would you, let's say someone watching this just out of curiosity, somebody watching this just like wanting to start a party rental business, what do you think would be step one? Like, what's the first thing to do? Is it get up on a YouTube video, or
just find out your market? It's just hard now because it's like everything's so expensive. I didn't start when everything was so expensive.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to go do it. Because if I didn't just go do it, I'd be like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the truck and car that I have now. I wouldn't have anything. My balance in my bank account wouldn't be all that.
Subtle flex.
Subtle flex?
How much is in your bank account right now?
Enough to keep me good.
Can you give us a range?
I don't know, man.
Above 50?
Nah, I don't know.
Above 100?
I don't know, man. That's personal.
How much does the IRS think is in your bank account?
$0.
Whatever they think an average 19-year-old makes.
Oh,
you know?
so like
Maybe
500.
Sometimes,
bucks,
yeah. So sometimes it's good. That's why I say do things while you're young, because IRS is also not. I don't feel like they really care too much about a 19-year-old or a 20 or 21-year-old.
Yeah, there's people doing worse things.
But
Yeah.
they still don't play about their money.
No, they don't.
No.
I've gotten a couple letters already.
Both go to jail.
Yeah. No, but they don't really come after you. I think after 10 years. But
Really?
they come after you 10 years. They take everything.
No, I think it's shorter.
I think. Eyes. Did you see his eyes?
I think it's a
Tyler's?
shorter.
Yeah.
I think it's a shorter time frame than that.
Yeah.
Did you ever have limitations or not necessarily?
Limitations?
Like
I don't
limit
believe
to
in
your-
limitations.
You don't
No, I'm
believe in
just-
that?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fair
there
enough.
are limitations. Like a woman can't be a man, so.
We're talking about mental marriage.
Okay, fair enough. So what's your whole view on that? Do you think women should be competing in men
Yeah,
Olympics?
what's your like view on the LGBTQ
community?
IA
plus AIA?
What even is
whatever.
that? AI,
they're
whatever.
just another thing. Like, I'm not even trying to. Well, I mean, once you say that, kind of being racist, but I'm not trying to be racist. But like, they use black people, and they use the gays to get the votes. You
That's
know what I mean?
dangerous.
That's literally the only reason why they promote it so much is because they know they can use these people to get votes. You know, so that's what I think about them. They're just people. They don't care about me or you or anybody in this room. They're all living in $1 million houses. Why would, if you're living in one of these houses or $1 million whatever, you think you're gonna care about somebody living across the country from you? You know?
I mean, I probably not. I guess.
Exactly. They don't care about us. You know.
Yeah.
But it could be worse. It could be in a different country. You know, worrying about a bomb falling on your house. But thank God
That's
we're
very
here.
true.
We don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that here. You know, thank God. A lot of people like sometimes too, like with me, I have to be grateful for what I have. It can be worse. You know, I can not have a roof over my head. I could be living in a box, but thank God I'm just grateful. Honest, I'm type of guy. I can have AC, Wi-Fi. Nah, you can get rid of my Wi-Fi. I don't care. Just AC. Because I work in the heat, man.
Mhm.
So you just give me AC in a bed, I don't really care. That's it.
Do you ever feel like, do you ever have to take a step back and you're like, okay, like, let me calm down. Like, I'm just 19, or you just like, let's keep moving forward. I want to, like.
Sometimes I gotta chill out because it can consume you. But I've gotten to a point now where it's like,
You have a good balance.
yeah, it doesn't consume me. It used to consume me really bad at one point, you know. So I'm glad I got out of that.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last podcast about almost like missing out. Do you ever feel like you're missing out, like with like people of our age group or near our age group, where you're like, man, I'm busting my butt off?
Not really, because I've seen what's the word?
The outcome.
The outcome of what their future is gonna be.
Mhm.
Like these kids that are going to college parties and they're getting high and all that
Yeah.
stuff, bro.
Like I said, I literally said that to Kenneth last episode. I don't think that's missing out. Like,
That's not really
Yeah,
missing
that's- I
out
don't
because
think so
they're
either.
like, we'll see where they are in 5 years,
Yeah.
you know. And I honestly, it's really the parents' fault too for spoiling these children and putting them into college. Like that shouldn't be like. I feel like sometimes the reason they put kids in college is just so when another rich person asks them, "What's your kid doing?" Oh, he's in college, but there's a reality to it. That kid's probably doing drugs.
Yeah.
So do you think no one our age should go into college, or do you
No.
think you should just?
If you want to be a lawyer, doctor, something like that, that require a nurse. Maybe I think nurses you have to go to college.
Yeah, please go to college.
Yeah.
Please go to college.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't want my nurse in a
I
couple
don't want
years
to be
to say
30 and them look at TikTok. Okay,
But-
how do I like inject him?
Dude, it's so crazy how views have changed.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I really don't know much about history, but I was like maybe 90 to 100 years ago, everybody would, like to have kids, like to have a family, provide for their family. But now you got women freaking pulling on guys' lead. What do you think about
Mhm.
furries?
Furries.
Yeah.
What is that?
Furries, like,
like a
the people
person-
who like.
People that dress up as
Like
like animals
dogs,
or something?
They like role play as like
That's
dogs.
that's weird. Man. That's
They
like a
should be
whole-
like I feel like we should bring back like public execution. Like,
I don't think we can say that. We cannot. We can.
No, I think we can say that.
Do you think YouTube's gonna censor this?
No, it's not gonna censor
I,
it.
public.
I'm not sure about public.
well, like maybe for like people that, because like I'm gonna just say this about the gays and the furries. They usually are pedophiles.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're usually
Do you
pedophiles.
see that guy on like TikTok catching pedophiles?
Yeah,
He slaps them.
Do you think that's justifiable, slapping these pedophiles?
No, I think they should just be decapitated.
Oh,
It talks about it in the Bible that if you mess with a child, you should be they sink you to the bottom of the ocean.
Is that a fact check?
That was
Yeah.
probably in the Old
Should we
Testament.
Or-
do that? Yes, of course.
Yeah, isn't it something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Was that in the Old
Is that
Testament?
fact check?
Yeah,
that
it's
fact check?
actually fact checked. It
Like,
is in
was that in the Old
Deuteronomy.
Testament or what?
Yes.
I just remember
but
that.
A lot of Deuteronomy laws are.
First faith.
Yeah, but Tyler, David, do you wanna?
Well, I
wrap it
mean,
up?
Okay, so what's just to wrap it up? What's one piece of advice you wish you would have told yourself when you were 14, 15, starting the business?
Yeah, what would you tell your younger self?
honestly, like I just took all the advantages I could and I took them. So I really wouldn't even say anything.
You
like,
don't regret anything you.
No, to be honest, because I took like every time I had an opportunity to make money, I took it. There were certain opportunities that I'm kind of glad I didn't take because it was going down a bad direction.
Sketchy.
Yeah. So like, but thank God I went down like the right way, like the legal way, because
Okay.
you know I feel like sometimes in life you could probably come across doing something the legal way.
Yeah,
illegal.
for half the time you did it legal.
No, I did. Yeah. But I wasn't doing
Yeah.
anything to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hurt nobody. The thing about I would never do anything to hurt nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're just
Okay.
providing a service.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
First
Thank you,
guest, we got it done. Thank you
Oh,
so
yeah.
much,
We
Tyler.
really appreciate
you.
you for you taking the time. We know you're a very busy man. After
Tyler,
yeah.
do you want to maybe plug yourself out or socials, nothing like that?
No, let's not do that because I might have some haters or something like that.
I think
you know?
people are gonna love you, Tyler.
I know.
Great guy.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah, we certainly love you, Tyler.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate being on here, man.
Yeah, well, I thank you so much, Tyler, and
we thank you guys
Thank you
for,
guys for
watching.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully, we'll have another guest soon. See you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
deuces. Cut. Wow, what an episode.
Yes,
What an episode. I was